This is Clifford Stone.
I am prepared to state that I have been at locations where craft of unknown origin that did not originate on the face of this planet was there. I am prepared to state that while I was there, we saw living, dead bodies of entities that were not born on this planet.
On paper, he was just a communications sergeant. But behind the paperwork, he claimed his orders were different. Go to UFO crashes, secure the site, and make sure the world never saw what the military was collecting. He said he touched the craft. He saw the beings. He even claimed he was trained to administer first aid to extraterrestrial survivors through telepathy. Decades of research into consciousness, remote viewing, and quantum phenomena suggest these abilities might not be as impossible as science admitted. He insisted the visitors aren't hostile. The danger isn't them. The danger is us, our secrecy, our weapons, our rush to militarize space. Stone warned that technology light years ahead of our own was being locked away, that governments had no right to keep it hidden, that humanity's survival depended on spiritual growth, not military strength. For decades, he carried these secrets alone, and when he finally spoke, his story reshaped how we understand this hidden war. Born in Portsmouth, Ohio in 1949, by most accounts, Stone was just another quiet kid. But in his memoir, Eyes Only, Stone described something different. A childhood friend that was almost human in appearance, but not. A being, he said, who was there to guide him, to teach him the depth of human emotion itself. When he graduated school, he joined the U.S. Army in 1969 and trained as part of a nuclear, biological, chemical response team. But Stone claimed his role went far beyond that. When the call came, he was pulled from routine duties and sent to recover craft in his area, saying he was one of only 8 men across the entire military who could interface or communicate with non-human beings, able to understand them in ways others could not. Throughout interviews, Stone becomes visibly emotional, recounting these events.
As I did this, I realized what I was seeing was not of an earthly origin. I'm hesitant to go into it too much because I don't want to get emotional about it.
His abilities, he insisted, weren't learned, they were recognized, marked out as rare, and quietly guided into the military's shadowed projects. Stone said the cover stories were always in place. Every recovery, he claimed, was masked as something routine: an aircraft accident, a hazardous spill, a classified test gone wrong. The same binders, the same emergency protocols. Behind those procedures, Stone says there were reportedly UFO crash retrieval programs like Blue Fly and Moon Dust. Blue Fly began as a rapid response unit, officially tasked with collecting foreign debris that fell to Earth. But according to Stone, their true focus was to analyze materials no one could identify, wreckage that defied any earthly explanation. Their specialists weren't there to ask, "What is this?" but to determine what it definitely isn't. And when Soviet hardware, missiles, or satellites were ruled out, the conclusion left on the table was never written down. By 1957, Blue Fly had allegedly been absorbed into Project Moon Dust. On paper, Moon Dust was designed to secure objects of non-U.S. origin that survived re-entry. The phrasing sounded bureaucratic, but Stone said it was deliberately vague. Non-U.S. didn't just mean Soviet. It meant not from this Earth. And while official history claims no such debris was ever retrieved, Stone's testimony insists the opposite.
In short, under Moon Dust, under Blue Fly, we have recovered alien debris.
After UFO crash retrievals, teams were reportedly chosen to study the materials, to see what could be replicated. Stone alleges some of the breakthroughs of the 70s and 80s, microelectronics, new composite materials, early stealth technologies, were eventually reverse-engineered from what they handled.
We are going to acquire new technology. We're going to evolve new technology that's going to lead us into interstellar travel. As a direct result, we will become a threat to them unless we spiritually grow also.
And then there were the beings. Stone described their presence as immediate, unavoidable. They didn't speak in words, not because they couldn't, but because they didn't need to. Every movement, every glance seemed loaded with information, an awareness of him, of the room, of the debris around them. He said they could convey fear, curiosity, even caution in ways humans rarely do.
Looked right into the eyes of this little creature. And, you know, it's like, you're seeing it, but everything's being pulled from your mind. Pains you felt, you feel that, and it's like a buzzsaw going off on your head. He was reading my whole life. It's hard to describe what you really felt there. Your life up to that point in seconds. And I mean, you were feeling everything.
He recalls standing near a craft while one of them inspected it. Not touching it, not manipulating it, just observing. And in that observation, Stone said he could feel the logic of their understanding, the way they processed, predicted, adapted. It was like watching a mind operate on layers he could barely comprehend, yet he grasped enough to respond. Every encounter left him drained but focused, not because the beings were dangerous, but because the responsibility of being the intermediary, the only human who could bridge two forms of intelligence, was immense. What they were, what they knew, what they left unspoken, it was classified, controlled, and it weighed on him for decades.